I stumbled upon Vindictus Defying Fate purely because my innate interest in MMO as a genre basically forces me to at least give a proper look to everything even remotely MMO-like. And if Warframe can be considered an MMO, so can Vindictus. Defying Fate, however, made it initially very difficult to love it. As soon as I started downloading the 60GB demo, I started to worry. Initial frictions haven't ended there, as the obsession in the beginning of the game made it very clearly to me that devs gave the story less attention than I did, and I skipped 90% of it. Combat for about 2 first hours seemed designed with game journalists in mind, as 5-year-old would consider it borderline sleeping medication, and the jump was bind to F by default. Not a good start. However, knowing that my disappointment can be made into good content, I pushed onward, and slowly the game started building up towards something that can be called content. Second to last boss in the first zone was the first point at which I could tell I'm indeed having something resembling fun, and the final boss of that stage was finally something definitely worth fighting. Second stage fared better, with only one boss, that's the mage guy, being an annoying piece of shit. Rest were genuinely fun to fight, and if Defying Fate continues onward with this direction and this boss quality, it'll be one of the better boss rush Souls-likes we had for a decade. And here's where the cookie starts to crumble. Original Vindictus was not a Souls-like, not by a long shot. And I can tell you that with an absolute certainty, even though I barely even touched it. It doesn't take 1000 hours of experience to notice that two things differ from each other, especially when the difference is so drastic and so apparent. Just look at the screen for 5 seconds and you'll have no doubt. Defying Fate will not be welcomed with open arms by the people who liked the original. It is slowed down to a crawl in comparison, and the premise of original Vindictus' combat, that were blazing fast combos and equally as blazing fast everything else, are replaced with clear and unmistakable attempts to suck Miyazaki's balls dry, as everything was soulsified to the absolute extreme. Further going, where original Vindictus was made for PC specifically, and pretty much only, Defying Fate clearly takes consoles into strong consideration, maybe even priority, when designing their combat and features. Fully fledged classes were reduced to characters with 5 abilities, combo-oriented combat of the old game abandoned for block, dodge, light and heavy ad infinitum, with skills thrown in usually once per encounter, because cooldowns in this game are counted in minutes. Very Souls-like healing also plays the role in that comparison. Defying Fate essentially abandoned the identity of the original to be something else. That something might be a competent game to an extent, but it is not a spiritual successor to the original Vindictus. It only bears its name, and with many people, that just doesn't sit well. I, however, have my own gripes with the product over here, unrelated to, obviously absent, nostalgia for the game I didn't play. First but not foremost, the goddamn demo with 2 stages takes up the same space on my disk as Elden Ring does. And that's horrifying to put it lightly. What size will full game be once it releases? Will I have to buy a separate disc just to store it? Secondly, there's a distinct combo system built into this game. 2 lights followed into 2 heavies will give you different heavy animations, damage and properties than 3 lights followed by the same 2 heavies. That system, however, is counterintuitive to make use of when your every defensive action bearing one character-specific skill breaks your combo string. In a game where those defensive actions are the bread and butter of your gameplay, player shouldn't be punished for utilizing those options. combos being broken by defensive actions is paired with combos ending for no reason on their own, as pretty much every second or third heavy in a row, any attack after a dodge, all of character skills, and any jump attacks are immediately ending your combos and forcing the start of a new one. This is particularly annoying as majority of your most damaging normals are late in combo sequence. The fact that not a single heavy can be comboed into a light is a hurdle as well, because in some cases you'd be able to sneak additional hits between attacks in bosses' patterns this way, where you currently cannot. In a game that features a prominent combo system, where certain skills even allow you to combo after them with different inputs, all available combat options should be able to be comboed off of something and into something else. Existence of a jump attack that combos into nothing and out of nothing, and all defensive options and skills either immediately ending or allowing for just one hit of follow-up after the skill before ending your combo string, is the main reason why Defying Fate feels nothing like its predecessor. Offense and defense should be woven together, allowing, once mastered, to no-hit any boss without breaking the combo string. That's the goal a game like Defying Fate should strive for. In its current iteration, Defying Fate's combat system is just wasting its own potential for the sake of being more like Dark Souls. Smaller but still important hurdle is that screen shake and blur cannot be disabled as of right now, and for many players that is a turn-off. And in addition to that, the optimization could use improvement, as affordable machines won't run this game comfortably, and even for me, where I had no big performance issues, the game crashed to the desktop twice in 10 hours. Last, and in this case the least complained, which for me is just a nitpick, is related to the customization. Culbram's supplies feature is essentially just a battle pass, and majority of cosmetics are simply bought from Style Shop, and majority are immersion-breaking modern-day outfits. To put it in simple terms, all I see here is likely to become overpriced microtransactions when the game launches for good. And the fact that nothing in the game can be obtained through gameplay without being funneled through totally not battle pass worries me that free customization in the final product will pretty much not exist. Even skinning the goddamn Gnoll chieftain we just butchered and wearing his skin as an outfit could be at the same time cool, fitting for the setting, and considering how much was left of the enemy after the fight, pretty revealing. But no, we got 15 boring, immersion-breaking, modern or uninspired outfits and like 7 decent ones. And with decent I included this, just so you know that standards are already low. And final nail in the coffin for customization for me is that many outfits are incompatible with each other. I can't match cute dress with a suit of armor, because the armor either overrides the leg cosmetic or everything clips through everything in an ugly manner. Disappointment all the way through. In summary, there is potential in Vindictus Defying Fate. However, its own systems limit each other, resulting in lack of combat depth. File size is terrifying. Optimization may need some work. Character toolkits needs to be expanded. Customization needs to be wrangled as far away from microtransaction hell as possible, and outfits themselves need both more creativity and, most importantly, to bloody work with each other. That said, as long as the devs haven't shoved their heads up their asses too deep to hear the feedback, Defying Fate might still have bright future ahead of it. It doesn't hurt to wait and see. Before we wrap it up, a big sign of gratitude towards all the generous supporters, continuously considering my dubious quality content worth their money. You're all truly welcome. Rapface out.